Assassin's Creed Origins has revealed its paid and free DLC plans, so we're going to be talking about that. PS4 has detailed some new VR titles. Okay. Assassin's Creed Origins detailed its paid and free DLC plans. PS4 seems to have new life in its VR division. What? I'm trying it right now. I'm trying one more time. Assassin's Creed Origins has detailed its paid and free DLC. Discord has opened up official channels for game chat. Hearthstone has a new item that's only available in public. There's so many stories. We're going to be talking about them right now, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
And games. Welcome to Inventory Full, here on the Popcorn Talk Network and live on Twitch on our Twitch page, which is Inventory Full PT. Make sure you're following us here on Twitch, on Twitter. It's all good stuff. I'm going to be hosting with Mark Donica. You can find me on Twitter at Mark Donica. This is Nate Miller.
What's up, nerds? Nate Miller here. You can find me on all social media at DogLikeNate.
Stacey Shuttleworth.
Hey, I'm Stacey Shuttleworth. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at Stacey Shuttles.
Patrick Dees.
What up? I, for one, can't hear anything over Mark's hat at the moment. Find me at Pete. You hear me at Pete. You find me at Pete of the Dees on Twitter. Also, you truly slide on your console of choice. What is up, guys?
Oh, it's been a big week.
The sky.
It's a great hat.
All folks, thank you.
Yeah,
I'll make sure to tilt a little bit further up so I don't get in anybody's
No,
eyes.
it's amazing. It's just something
beautiful.
else. It's a choice.
It's a choice.
Yep. Mark,
All right.
more that intentionally.
It's a commitment.
It is. I'm proud of him. I, for one.
All right, let's get going with what we played this weekend. Let's start because we used it as our intro. Patrick, you're playing a little bit of Shadow of War?
But not a little bit. Mark, I'm playing a lot of Shadow of War.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Did you guys play the first one?
Yes.
Yes.
You did, and what was the kind of consensus here?
Loved it.
Loved it. Mark
Liked it a lot.
Liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Stacey, you play it?
I didn't play it.
Didn't play it at all.
That was in my I'm not gaming during those
Yeah.
phase, which was real sad. I never got to go back to it.
You guys loved it. You played. You like the Nemesis system. Like all of that really worked for you guys, right?
Yeah, I think a lot. For me, to be honest, a lot of it was, being a big Lord of the Rings fan. I've played a lot of Lord of the Rings games.
Okay.
And this is really the only one that is actually good.
Okay.
I'm sure some people would argue Lord of the Rings Online is good. Sorry.
Two Towers was good.
It's not.
Back when the movies were coming out.
Was it? I skipped
It's
it.
passable and good.
Yeah.
It's actually, I would call it a great game. But again, I have a little bit of personal bias. But I love the Nemesis system.
Yep.
I really enjoyed the combat system. I liked the map. I liked the music.
Me too.
Yeah, the story I thought was good. It was a nice kind of midway between creating your own story for the purpose of your game, which gives you some fluidity, but also not interfering with what is Lord of the Rings canon.
So I'm coming into this. I'm a different side of it. I'm a neophyte when it comes to Tolkien. I appreciate. I've seen the movies. I've read the books when I was young. Never touched the Silmarillion or any of that nonsense. So I could care less about its commitment to authenticity. Just that first game, that Nemesis system was revelatory, right? You guys remember this? It's that procedurally generated orc system where they say things and remember things and then come back and they reference certain things. And I had a nemesis that like haunted me throughout that first one. Like, seriously, fuck that guy. Like, I just, and it was great. It was like one of the most engaging systems in a game ever. And I think coming into this year, I was like, this had to be, if not my most anticipated, top 3 probably. Just very excited about this coming into it.
I was super into it when they announced it, and then I feel sort of over encumbered with all of the press for it.
Yeah.
Like they spent their advertising budget was so huge,
yeah.
and that's not necessarily a fault, I think, but it's enough to where I'm like. With so many other games this season, I'll wait for this one.
Are you?
Because I waited for the first one and it didn't affect my play at all.
No,
Yeah.
and this same thing, right? Like this is still. I mean, what look like they took that Nemesis system and ratcheted it to 11. But it's so. I want to say this about the game before we talk too much about it. Like for me, this has been a tale of two games for me because I do not think this game makes a very good first impression. My first 3 hours here were rough because do you remember, guys? Do you remember the first one? It was like 2 huge maps, right? And you could kind of go explore, and then if you had a captain you wanted to go fight, you could like figure out was he on the map, stalk him, set up your kill, and then every once in a while random shit would happen. It was this collision of all these systems, like maybe like that Rancor dude would show up, or other captains you'd get ambushed, but like you'd really pick your spots. This game doesn't gate any of the systems. So my first couple hours were like, first of all, it sets up with some nonsensical shit, some things that you might actually take some, issue with is it Shelob, the spider?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sexy goth woman, also works at next to my guardian at Hot Topic. Some ridiculous like setup for this, and then it just kind of opens you up into this in Minas Ithil, and it's pretty cool city, but it's very claustrophobic. There are captains everywhere, and so like and high level fools too. So
Yeah.
you're a 2, and like I admittedly jumped off my first tower. You climb the tower, you open it up, and I ran into some dude like level 17 right from the jump, starts shit talking me like, whoa, I'm not pressed 3 buttons on this, and already this guy's like out talking crap. And so like for the first 3 hours was like I ran into this dude and like and then like is it a Drake? Is that what they call the dragons in this world? Drake showed up, like burned half of these fools, and I'm like I died immediately 4 or 5 times in the first like 20 minutes because I just kept running into. There's just like captains everywhere.
There
it
was
like
no sort of idea that you maintained any sort of power from the first game, whether it was directly connected or not.
no, it is a direct sequel. This place literally picks up like 5 minutes after the last game
Then
ends.
you should have that same amount of power.
One would happen, and I won't rack it for people who. I'm not
Okay.
going to spoil the first like 60 seconds of the game, but it is a step back. And so I remember ending that last game so powerfully. I don't know if you guys remember, but by the end of it, you're just taking on like thousands of dudes at one time. And I was like, all right, I got this. And I'm like ready to go, and just fucking nope. It like put me right in his place right away. And so like from the jump, I don't think the game made a good first impression. I'm now in the first 2 worlds. I think I just opened up the 3rd one, and I've had some incredibly memorable moments where all of that, this perfect symphony of like the guy I was stalking, you take out the archers, some Karagor gets lit on fire, he runs into like some friends, knocks some other people, like there's so much going on here. I'm just really and genuinely enjoying it. But if you're at home, you're watching this, and you boot that up, and I also hate it when people say this about games where they're like, no, push through the first 15 hours because the next 25
That's rough.
are,
That's rough.
no. But I'm just saying, like, if it doesn't hit you right away, but you really loved the first one, I'm gonna encourage people to stay with it because there is really some good stuff there, especially as you start leveling up, getting some of the powers. Super enjoying it. So I'm put a lot of hours in this
But
week.
speaking of a lot of hours in, I
Yes.
want to touch on it a little bit.
Yeah.
How much Destiny 2 did you play?
I did all the weekly stuff. I did the Flashpoint.
Did
I
you
did
do
the
Iron
Nightfall. I didn't do Iron Banner. Did you? I heard it was
did.
so bad.
I did. We talked about it last week, so you're fine. You got 1 week left.
I know.
You got
Almost there,
one
almost
week left.
there.
Almost there.
Yeah. So I played. I got 7 Iron Banner packages, and it got to a point where I started playing with people who weren't playing to the objective, and then
always fun.
it stopped being fun. So and I got to the point where I just went, oh, this isn't fun anymore. And
What
in
are
the middle
those
of a
things
match,
with the letters and the circles? What are those?
I don't get it. They're squares.
Alpha Bravo
Squares.
Charlie. Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, what the three quarters of my Iron Banner matches didn't necessarily feel like Iron Banner, but or like Iron Banner used to, but those 3 quarters, everybody was playing to objective, and we were playing as a team, and we were killing as a team. I even got a 100 kill round where we beat the other team.
Yeah.
We didn't win, we beat them.
Wow.
And that I don't think I would have gotten that just in casual playing the Crucible playlist. But I got to a point where now I think I might just do weeklies until the new.
That's where I am. What's your power level right now?
I'm at 291.
Yeah, okay. So I'm like they're like 294, 295, same. And like, how's the gear been from the Iron Banner?
I got my first 3 packages were all repeats.
Okay.
I finally got 1 piece of armor in the last one, and it's cool, and I'll keep it. But it's not enough. It's not powerful Ingrams.
Right.
They're regular Ingrams, so
Right.
they drop at like 10 levels lower than what I'm at right now.
Right.
So I don't need it.
Yeah, that's where I was with it.
And also Zur I've started getting repeats with Zur, so it's not anything.
I just want like, and I wonder seriously. I'm getting so many duplicates. I wonder if that's a thing. Like I just keep running into the same legendaries over and over.
So yeah, done with Destiny 2 for a while. But Stacey, we've been playing Overwatch Halloween.
Yeah, you have.
Yes.
Speaking of a game that you can play forever.
Dude, I missed the PvE mode.
Forever.
So you've played a lot more than me. So tell us about how your week's been.
Played a lot of Overwatch. I've played less of the Halloween event than I expected. I've been playing more competitive, but we also spent a lot of time playing Junkenstein's Revenge. I'm playing Anna now.
Are you?
Because you have to.
That's the thing.
As you do.
You only get
Yes.
4 characters to pick from in the regular Junkenstein's Revenge mode, and they added 4 more in the Endless mode.
Okay.
But one of the 4 characters, the only healer that you get is Ana.
Is that right?
Yes. You get Zenyatta also in the Endless mode, which is fun. The Endless mode, so Junkenstein's Revenge, the regular mode on normal it's passable. You can get through it without too much trouble. When you start getting to the Endless, it gets really intense because it's set up to spawn the enemies at different points. So you'll get Reaper, you'll get Junkenstein's Monster, which is Roadhog, you'll get Symmetra, and then you'll get Mercy, kind of in order. When you get into the bonus rounds of Endless, so there are 12 set rounds for Endless, and then it goes into bonus rounds, and they just start spawning.
Oh,
So
nice.
you've got Reaper, and you knock out Reaper, Reaper immediately spawns back out. And then another Reaper is going to spawn right under. Like,
by the time you get to like the breaking point, the end of it, I think at most I had 2 Roadhogs, 4 Reapers, 2 Mercies, a Symmetra, and a Junkenstein.
yeah, I mean, we had 3 Symmetra shields set up at one point, and Symmetra
Yeah, they
running
spawn with
around
shield
all over the
generators.
place.
Wow.
So all of the enemies get that much more
Mhm.
health. It's fun, but it's nuts.
It is very intense. You can only play a few rounds before you need to back off for a little while.
It is fun though.
It is very fun.
It's
Okay.
very fun.
It is.
I mean, like everything Overwatch is
sound
fun.
very fun.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I asked that.
Well, it's fun.
doesn't sound fun
It's
at
fun if
all.
you're in a good group of people. Like Stacey, Robbie, and I, we played
Yeah.
the first Endless together, and that was a lot of fun of just going like, ah!
Right.
Yes.
But I mean that there's also the argument of like you can take your group of friends and you can play the worst
True,
video game
true.
ever created. You're probably still gonna have a good time.
This is
Yeah.
true.
That's more in having fun with your friends than the endless horde mode being that enjoyable.
Or you could also play, according to Stacey, the new greatest game in the world. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Orbital Gear?
Oh man, this game is called Orbital Gear.
All right.
And so we were playing Overwatch. She's just like, hey, so there's this game that's on sale on Steam right now. It's like 99 cents. Will anyone play it with me? And so we were like, okay, sure. So all of a sudden we are all thrown into Orbital Gear. And I think we only had 4 people playing.
Does this file this
so
under the best
this
and
is,
worst game ever that you'll have fun with your friends with?
Insane. So basically, you're this little mech running around planets, and these planets, like, you use the gravitational pull to bounce yourself
Dude,
around
this looks
and
rad.
jump. It is great. And so you pick your 2 weapons. So they've got like Tesla cannons, they've got nail guns, flamethrowers, plasma cannons. You pick your 2 weapons, and then you can get mines or a satellite that'll shoot at your enemies, and
Yeah.
you just run around, bounce yourself off the gravity, try to like slingshot yourself around planets, and just beat each other.
It's a 2D gravity-based planetoid
Brawler.
shooter.
Yes.
Dude, the art is fantastic.
Oh,
How
it's
cool
beautiful.
And how's the soundtrack?
It's very overbearing.
Damn.
It's very loud when
is
you
it?
okay.
first
Metal
boot
or
it
is
up.
it like sci-fi? Like what
It's
is
like
it?
a mixture.
All right.
It's very intense music.
Like Tempest 2000.
And so this game, we only had 4 people playing. You could have up to 24 people on one map,
Let's do it!
which sounds great and so chaotic. But now normally when we all play games together, we're chatting, talking
Right.
about
How's
our
your
day.
day? Yeah.
no talking.
Yeah, because
Intensely
Yes,
focused.
you can't see what's going on.
It took a while
Clarity.
for everyone to be like, "What is happening?
Visual
how
clarity.
did I die? What like? How did I kill you?"
I'm excited to play it.
It's very fun.
Nate, how's Hearthstone?
It's good. I'm in that spot now where like I want to spend money on a game, but I can't, and I'm not going to.
Good for you.
But I'm just I
That's a
don't know.
sentence I've
I'm
literally
getting
never
frustrated
said.
because like I'm on the rank ladder. I'm back in the same spot of like at like 12, and then I'll go down to 14, then get back up to 12, and then hit 11, and then go back down to 15, and then go back up, and it's just...
So I wanted to use that to sort of pivot into a story that I popped on the sheet today that I don't know if you saw it or not. That there is a Hearthstone item that is only available at meetup locations that Blizzard referred to as taverns.
Okay.
So they're LAN events called Fireside Gathering Taverns. And so this item, which we're showing right now, which is a hero called Nemzi Necrofizzle.
Great name.
So you can't, it's not just like, oh, let me go to firesidegatherings.com and
Right.
find a place. This could be, like the closest one to New York City is in New Jersey. So they're not everywhere. And the requirements to do it are a little bit more difficult. You have to have multiple events before you can actually register as an official one.
It's not that hard.
Okay, but so you don't think that this is that big of a deal?
I
that they
don't
have an
think so.
exclusive
I
thing?
think people on the internet are crying and complaining over nothing. First of all, it's a fully cosmetic thing. It's not a card. It's a hero. So it just sits on the board and essentially just gives you different emotes while you play the game. There's no gameplay change whatsoever. It doesn't even really have different animations. It's just going to be a little glowy, and it's going to sit there the entire game. That's it.
Cool.
So you're not like losing out on something that's going to change your life.
Heard that, nerds,
And
you whiners.
if you really want to, anybody can host a fireside. You can. All you have to do, and you just have to make it an official tavern to get the reward. They just do that so that fireside in my house, and it's me and me,
Nate's
and
official
now I get
fireside, yeah.
and now I get free stuff. No, they want you. It's an incentive to get people to play the game together.
Yeah.
I mean, on one hand, it is a digital game, and it's like kind of weird to be like, you can play anywhere is kind of the sales pitch. But
it's
also
like having to turn in homework at university when you're taking an online class.
coming from the Magic community, I like the idea of maybe going to a bar or something where a bunch of
Totally.
people playing.
Yeah.
I'd like to sit across
Yeah.
from a guy I'm playing Hearthstone with and talk a little shit maybe, and
Yeah.
especially
High-five
with the
him.
RNG and stuff that like you can't get in a real card game.
Right.
You can't create things out of nothing, right?
Yeah.
So to be able to do that and still be able to sit across from someone, do a tournament of things of that nature, I think it's good for them to cultivate that.
And I would hope that if, with the success of the opening of the Burbank Studios, maybe they create an actual
dedicated-
Hearthstone,
Yeah.
quote, bar, where that's styled after the short. You go in and you have yourself some Hearthstone games.
But even so, like we have that local esports bar that just opened, and I'm sure, with esports starting to get a lot of legitimacy, there's going to be a lot of them opening more around the country.
Yeah.
So while there's not a lot of fireside spots now between those bars and the libraries by middle schools and things of that nature, they're gonna get there, and this reward's not going away. It'll be there
Yeah, that's another thing.
forever.
It's
It's a
not-
Blizzard promotion.
it's not
like,
a limited event.
It's not.
yeah,
Okay.
it's just people crying because they can't get whatever they want. Like
I'm really
you gotta
happy.
leave. You gotta
As
leave your
per
basement
usual. Yeah.
Gotta work a little
and
bit.
shower and put on deodorant, brush
Nope.
your teeth.
I only do that to come to the show, and that is it. And I love this with this location-based, event stuff. It's only a matter of time until Mother Russia hacks it and then promotes dissent in this country. You guys saw the Pokemon Go stuff? Incredible.
Whatever.
It's incredible. Anyway,
It's fantastic.
I know.
All right, I'm really happy that we talked about
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Let's talk about some Assassin's Creed, shall we? They announced
No.
both their... What? Come on.
I can just be. I don't
Are
even
we
have to
getting paid
look
for
at
their-
Stacey, and I just feel the energy. She just perks
advertising
up.
also.
I would look. Can we?
Yes.
Give us that money. So I'll quickly go over what the paid $40 DLC what is it? Season Pass will get you. The first one that is available January 28, 2018 is called The Hidden Ones. It is a story-driven expansion that builds upon the growth of the Brotherhood, taking players years after the events of Origins as they clash with an occupying Roman force in a new region.
Great.
It will extend the level cap,
Beautiful.
which is just an interesting phrase to hear, allowing players to keep on making their character progress. And then March 2018 is The Curse of the Pharaohs, which is a story-driven expansion focusing on Egyptian mythology. Players will fight against undead pharaohs and explore a new mystical realm. During their journey, players will encounter famed Egyptian beasts such as Anubis warriors, Scorpios, and more as they investigate the cause of the curse that has brought the dead pharaohs back to life. It will increase the level cap even further and introduce new abilities. Then there's the Roman Centurion and Horus packs, which are 2 add-on packs that feature outfits, weapons, shields, and mounts. And then you get Helix credits, which are returning as the in-game currency. And then a rare exclusive weapon, the Calamity Blade, which will be available at launch.
Give me that.
Don't you worry, folks that can't, spend $40. Because it's a lot of money. The free updates will include this: the Trials of the Gods, epic boss battles against Egyptian gods that will take place during special timed events. Victorious players will receive prestigious awards, and the first Trial of Gods event will be available 15 days after the launch of the game. The Nomad's Bazaar, a wandering merchant gives players daily quests to compete in order to earn mysterious exotic rewards. Sounds really similar to Zur. Anyway, photo mode. Players will be able to capture and share the beauty of the Egyptian landscape and indulge in their inner wildlife photographer while discovering in-game pictures taken by other players.
Assassin's Creed Origins, the MMO.
Yeah.
Fucking what?
That's fine.
Photo mode is not at launch?
Photo mode is at launch.
Oh, it is at
available
launch.
at the launch.
Okay, great. Okay, I was confused
No, that's a
by that.
feature.
Well, look, and I think it's cool the way they showed the implementation of it. Like, as you wander on the map, you can opt to have photos show at different points of the map from other players have taken. And I think that's rad. And that's a cool implementation.
And it could be a thing of maybe not as Dark Soulsy as leaving like a couple of words in the ground, but like, hey, why don't you try looking at this a different way? There's a secret.
I think it's awesome. I think it's really, really cool. And I'm a sucker for a photo mode.
We talked about Discovery Tour, but then Horde mode. Players will fight endless waves of enemies in the Gladiator arena. They will be able to compare their scores with their friends and challenge them asynchronously.
So that's just the Gladiator mode. The Challenge of the Gods 2 is also like asynchronous leaderboard type nonsense, right? Like,
it doesn't say in the official release.
It's gonna be like a boss
race,
It's
right?
gonna be like
But also there's like a leaderboard associated with that. Again, games as service. We're gonna try and have this be get as much time out of you as we possibly can here.
And I think just the daily challenges makes it seem like the bounties from Destiny, and by saying exotic rewards, that just immediately goes Zur to me.
But I think it's interesting to me because this is the last Ubisoft game that I would assert that you don't see a comprehensive multiplayer component. Like, I mean, literally real time drop in, drop out co-op, right? I mean, it's for all intents and purposes. I mean, it's asynchronous multiplayer, but like, I don't think that we're going to get too many single player story based things out of Ubisoft going forward. Hard stop, period. I think that is not their model anymore. So this is interesting. This is kind of that last remnant of like games as a service leaking into their old model. This is old meets new. Do you know what I mean? And it's everything that they can get to. It's these microtransactions, Helix credits. It's the online leaderboards. It's the asynchronous. It's the drop photo modes. It's everything they possibly can to shoehorn. Because there were 4 or 5 years in development. Actually, the first time this was shown behind closed doors was 2012 at E3. This game been in development for a long time, and I wonder like how much of this is late in development pivot to say like, hey, games as a service type stuff. Anyway, I just think it's just interesting. This is an end of an era.
I'm automatically turned off when I hear this much DLC before a game is even
before it
out.
comes out.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it. If there's a world I want to be in, I buy all that shit, and I don't end up playing a lot of it. Like even the last Syndicate. I bought the Jack the Ripper DLC and like anything to just exist in like Industrial Revolution, in, like England, just for like a couple hours more. So I'm excited it's there. If you want it, great. And it'll be available in a Game of the Year pack at some point. It'll be discounted.
Speaking to your point, I think maybe this will be another game where we're gonna see multiple entries in the same area. Like this will be like a new Ezio trilogy, where we're gonna stay in Egypt and explore it a little bit more, and maybe add some
Assassin's Creed Origins too.
Well,
if they've built such a comprehensive world, why not? Why not keep it around to explore and go down different lines?
and
because we did this already.
Well,
But
still
it's Egypt. It's ancient Egypt.
ancient. It's
I'm
ancient.
there for this.
Just make it, have it be good, and let's move on, do something else. I don't want to.
I think they will because the next one's gonna be like, and it may be, I mean, like I get reusing assets and geometry and reusing all that stuff, but I think the next one, like, I mean, if they can shoehorn, drop in, drop out multiplayer going forward here, then great. But if not, we're going to see a whole other world set and stuff that they can milk for a long time.
Just in the sense of how Assassin's Creed ended, where you went to end, spoiler, I guess, where you end up in Rome and you don't get any flipping time in Rome.
Yeah.
So then they're like, oh, well, guess what? It's all in Rome!
Yeah.
Like something like that,
Right.
where some multiplayer, but I do miss the Assassin's Creed multiplayer. That was so much fun.
The like spy party type where you act like an NPC. And
Yeah.
I agree. That was really
So
great.
good.
Totally.
nobody else was doing stuff like that.
That's funny because I was on the polar opposite.
You didn't like it?
I hated it.
Did you guys do? Yeah.
I mean, I wish I did because I loved everything else about the game. I was like, multiplayer, this is gonna be awesome. And I was like, this.
Did you play Unity as multiplayer at all? Did you
No, Unity, I still have not played. I have it, but I still haven't played it.
Grossly underrated game, but like it was pretty great when there's 4 assassins, and like the name of that game is like set up your kill, stealth, scope an area, and immediately somebody goes Leroy, and just fucks everything up, and it was never not funny to me, but like it was just always a clusterfuck. It was always like,
usually
all
me.
right, well, yeah, and me too. Like I'll be honest, I'll own it. Be like, oh, Patrick's out in the middle of the opening game, like and they're all hidden,
Fight
and I'm
them all.
Just
walking,
swinging your
yeah, I'm
axe
just
around.
I'm like, what's up, guys? Yeah, real dumb.
least
but
I got my
kinda loved
chicken.
it. Yeah,
I'm gonna kill you.
Repeating, of course.
Bite. Let's move on from there. Player announced Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
Little game. The little game that could, as
Don't
I call
say.
it. Recently reached a peak of 2,016,498 players
Jeez.
within a 24-hour period.
Yeah.
That's
That's a lot.
awesome.
That's a lot of players.
It's a couple. Anyway, they
A lot of people dying at school.
Yeah. Yeah.
All at once.
Yeah.
Computer Club.
Drop
Yeah.
it once, never again.
And that concurrency happened on the same day where they announced that it sold 15 million units.
Yep.
The
Computer Club.
Happy I got you.
Broken.
Yeah.
He's done. He's out for the rest of the
But
night.
what are people already buzzing about a PUBG 2?
What?
What?
Who?
That's what it says here. PUBG. Oh, never mind.
no,
Hold on a
reading is
I
hard.
thought rumor mill. I can't
no,
read.
no.
Anyway, that's great. Let's talk about another game and completely forget
Well,
about
I'm gonna
PUBG.
say this. This is the last thing I want to say about that because I take responsibility. I put that on the list. But like at some point, like like if there is a home run record that keeps getting broken by the same guy over and over every week, he hits another home run, and like, well, they broke the record again. Like they don't do that in professional sports, right? They just they announce when he broke the record and then what he finishes the season with, right? Like how many more times are we gonna be like, well, they smashed the record concurrence again? I'm a little tired of talking about. That's why I literally wrote the words blah blah blah
If it
on our
was
sheet.
you wouldn't brag about it.
They should I would hire
Right.
the best PR thing. I would literally
Right.
every third person that logged on, I'd be sending out
I
another
think-
press release. 2,000,003, 2,000,006. I would at all. Yes, but should we be? Is my point.
Well, I
Like,
think this might be a run at trying to get the game of the year for all of the publications this year, and will that count because it's technically not a game because it's not a 1.0? Not this is not. We don't have enough time to talk about that.
it's also strategically timed against Epic's announcement, right? Epic announced it with however many million players. They literally.
Well, they had a peak concurrent of 525,000,
Right.
which 3.7 million daily active users split between North America, Europe, and Oceania.
So PUBG's announcement was literally 7 hours after. It was a big well, no, sorry. Remember who the big guys on the block are, just in
Fortnite's-
case.
Well, you're
Fortnite's
right
free to
there,
play.
We're here.
I mean, I agree.
Free to
I'm just saying
play
it was an
and on
interesting chess
consoles.
game. I'm not arguing the numbers. I just find it interesting where he's trying to drown that out. You know what I mean? Sebastian.
Talk about my game.
PUBG.
They did just announce. It might be worth mentioning. They did announce today. They're having their new update for this month.
Okay.
And then the next 3 months, they're not going to be updating. They have a big patch that they want to push through. That's going to be their 1.0 patch.
Their
that's
console
supposed to come out in
patch.
3 months. Yeah. So they're not doing the monthly updates.
They're-
But 3 months from now, 1.0 should be out.
On the
So-
clock, we are middle of October. They said by this year.
They said by the end of the year.
So yeah.
So
We're
December
pro-
30th.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
December
right.
30th. It's getting
Count it.
pushed from the test server to
actually,
live.
what day do their patches go up? Tuesdays?
It's Tuesdays
Whatever.
or Thursdays.
Okay,
It kind of depends.
so you can do the
Right
December
in the middle of
26th.
computer club.
Yeah, right in the
Oh
middle.
no.
December 26th or 28th. That's probably when it's going to land. That'll be the last time that
Right.
they can do it.
Right.
All right. Let's talk about some VR.
Oh,
We had some cool VR.
VR, you
Disney
say?
Yeah.
and Respawn
Yeah.
are going to be publishing new games through Oculus.
Yeah.
We do have a little bit of the Disney game, which is going to be based on the upcoming Pixar film Coco.
sweet.
Now, it's a little weird. They call it, quote, next level social virtual reality.
They did. It's a lot of words.
So you'll be able to see each other's characters, and you'll be able to make your own skeletal avatar based on the Day of the Dead style that Coco is known and will be futurely known for.
It's pretty badass.
It's in the sense of being able to interact with another virtual character. That's really cool, and they're going for a family audience so that parents can go, Mom, I want to be a dead person. So in terms of what it does, it looks like a great idea.
Yeah.
So,
Look, I think social stuff's rad in VR in a way that, like, have you guys been in a multiplayer VR experience? I'll just say this because I know we're running a little bit lean on time, but like, it's awesome because like you can pick Donica out of a crowd. If all of us dressed like, you know, Dawn of the or Day of the Dead characters or whatever, you would know by the way he moves and his height, and like you can just pick, like, it is clear that that is that person in a way that like you never would just with some regular online avatar. I think this stuff's rad, and like I would flip my shit if this was available when I was a kid.
it's a cool new. I think
Totally.
it's a cool new thing and a great starting point.
Yeah, great. Let's get him in the game. I love it.
And then for Respawns, it's not due out until 2019. We don't have the trailer for that, but it was essentially just
Neither did they.
yeah, just
Jesus.
because it was just the teaser consisted of historical combat intercut with Titanfall, while Respawn developers explained that the goal of the VR project was to depict being a soldier in combat, quote, in a more fully fleshed out, realistic way.
What does it even mean? Like, did you watch this video? Like, Vince Zampella, I actually think is one of the nicer dudes. I've had several drinks with that guy. I do not think he said anything. He talked a lot without saying anything about this project. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I think right now first-person shooting is one of the most boring things you can do in VR. Not into it. I love this guy. Titanfall was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing game. Not into this.
Now, if it was Titanfall VR,
Sign me up.
that'd be different.
But like, I don't want PTSD from like. There's a reason
that's
I
the
didn't
thing.
enlist in the military when I was 17.
Respawn co-founder Zampella said he wanted to convey the tension and paranoia a soldier would face in the
doesn't
field,
sound fun.
promising a
No,
more
not at all.
visceral, more terrifying experience.
Paranoia and terrifying are not two things I want to like. Nope. I'm good.
Nope.
Especially not in that setting.
No,
I
totally.
mean, horror is one thing
Yeah.
if you're going to be scared, but paranoid and like, yeah.
But like, look, they're incredibly talented dudes. They're working on in Dudettes. They're working on that new. They got a Star Wars game in the mix. Like, I'm excited to see what they do, and I think it's good for Sony. It's about time they announce some games.
Well, that one was specifically
For the
announced
Oculus.
Oculus,
Right.
But it will probably be
Right.
PS4 adjacent.
Excellent point. I was skipping stories.
That's
I was way out ahead.
That's fine.
I'm so excited about this.
Is anybody surprised that Phil Spencer is sort of downselling the Xbox One X?
No.
I thought it was interesting.
Yeah?
I think it's an interesting marketing tool to be like, hey, this is not for everybody.
Which I know I agree with that.
Look,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, go
Well,
ahead.
because
Stacey.
I think, it's for me. I'm
Yeah.
not gamer. That's me. Like,
Because I mean, I had a discussion with my coworker this week. We were talking about, what kind of games we play. And she's asking me questions, and I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I'm not really much of a casual gamer. And she's like, am I a casual gamer? I'm like, yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to say it in like a derogatory
No, right,
way.
right.
I have an unhealthy relationship with video games.
Yeah.
Like,
it is your number one hobby.
when you spend hours, outside of the game, reading about the game,
Yep.
watching other people play the
Totally.
game, learning how to play the game better.
Yep.
When you're not playing the game, it's a different
yeah.
space. So I can that's the other thing I thought of later of like, well, maybe that's the genius part of it, of saying, well, oh, this one, oh, you don't want that one. That's for the hardcore, for the big boys. You don't need that. You can have this one over there. It makes people go, oh, I
I
want
got-
that
I
one.
I got
That's
some
me.
quotes.
Yeah,
I got some
hit the
quotes. First
quotes.
one is the Xbox One S will be the market leader for us.
Right.
It's the more affordable console. It plays the same games. It will be the console that sells.
Right.
Whether you're on a 1080p TV or a 4K TV, you're going to have a great experience. But it's not for everybody.
Right.
It's like when we built the Xbox One Elite controller.
There
We
it
didn't
is.
try to say everybody, if you need an extra controller, go buy an Elite controller. We sold a ton of these controllers. We know in the gaming segment there's a lot of people who play games casually, and there's people where gaming is their number one hobby.
Right.
Their number one form of entertainment. And we want to give them the very best experience. I've played games in true 4K and HDR. They look fantastic. But does it mean that it doesn't mean everybody has to do it?
Yep.
So we're giving gamers a choice. Whether we've pushed the innovation too far, it's hard to do that with gamers. I guess we'll see. I feel very confident in the product we have coming to market.
It feels so underhanded.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
I don't know how to
not-
feel.
What an ass.
I disagree.
It's like somewhat
I think
genuine and like the logic
the
is sound,
most
but then
genuine.
also, but like.
I see. That's
but
why I feel
I'm-
Spencer calls it how he sees it. Like I actually really like this week. He also was talking about like Sony's reluctance to like open up the multiplayer again, and he finally just said, "Look, it's not for me to say why Sony won't do that. Like, stop asking me about that. That's Sony's thing. Like, here's our position. Sony should talk about their position." And I feel like he is one of these guys that you get like ostensibly very candid response. Look, it's not for everybody. We did sell millions and millions of those Pro controllers. I use that Pro controller every day. It's like my favorite. It's the best controller ever built in my estimation. So I am the guy. I am Target Mark. I have the Scorpio edition on pre-order. I will have that day one. I understand that's not for everybody, and that also. I think that also sets stock expectations too. Again, I always bring this back to the business, but like he's also got to temper Wall Street expectations for sales numbers on this, because the Xbox One sold at a meteoric rate. People lose that context because PS4 also did, but even better, right? Like both of these consoles outpaced previous generations. So he's got to temper that, because if this launches and they don't sell 8 million on launch day, they're going to hold Spencer accountable for that. So I think it's brilliant across the board. It's real, and it's also setting those expectations.
There's also a lot of general talk. Like when the pre-orders went up, it was so general. When they didn't talk about numbers. They just said, "Dude, a lot of people pre-ordered it."
I know. fastest pre-order to Xbox. But also like that doesn't matter, because like it's also like way more accessible. Amazon is there. Like it's just, I mean, it's a whole different. Even ecosystem than when the one was announced. Anyway, I'm with you. I like Phil Spencer, friend of the show.
Friend of the show, Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
Shout out, Phil Spencer.
P7.
He knows what's good.
P7 on Twitter.
So we talked about let's talk about some PS4 VR. It's PSVR. They've got
Yes.
60 new titles coming before the end of this year.
Great.
And next year. There was like a big old chunk of list. You can go on the PlayStation blog to figure out what they are, to find out what some of the smaller ones that we don't have any details on.
Nope.
But here are some of the ones coming out this year
Hit
and
me.
next. We've got Bravo Team, which is coming from Supermassive. Sorry to bore you. Of course,
Not in
responsible
VR.
for Until Dawn.
Yeah.
And the PSVR title, one of the leading ones when the PSVR came out. They're creating an intense first-person shooter with single-player or online two-player co-op.
Great.
Set in a fictional Eastern European city, the president is assassinated, and teamwork will be essential to survive.
Not the president.
Bravo Team will make you feel like you're in an action movie.
It's like bad dudes.
Which president?
Are you a bad enough dude?
Which president?
Yeah,
Very important
excellent
question.
point.
Good
Fair.
question.
How-
Here come the terrorists! Stop them! Stop them! He's that way.
Oh, what? How did that
I
happen?
tripped. But seeing what they did with Until Dawn and what that did for like horror movies,
Yep.
seeing them take on action movies sounds pretty cool.
Town in the studio.
Doom VFR.
Damn straight.
Hell yeah. It's Doom VR. You're the last known survivor of a demon attack on a Martian research facility. Well, you're the last human survivor. And you'll have plenty of opportunity to meet some of the other survivors.
Did you see how they implemented the glory kill thing on this?
No.
It's fucking dope. So, in regular Doom last year, like, you shoot an enemy till he blinks, and then you run over, you crack him, you get the glory kill, you get your health. In this, when they blink, that's when you push the button to warp to them, and it auto goes into that animation where it does the glory kill. So it solves that, like, warping around problem by setting up the
Auto-doing
glory
it.
kills, and it feels so, I mean, I haven't played it, but having watched that implementation, it looks just smooth. In a way that I was worried this was going to be jank.
Same. Gran Turismo Sport. Each release in the Gran Turismo series becomes the new benchmark in realistic auto racing games, and that bar is about to be raised.
Blah, blah, blah.
Big time. With PSVR, you'll feel like you're in the driver's seat, increasing the immersion to new heights.
It's probably.
It's fun.
I think that's one of the only games that I'm moderately interested in to play VR right now until VR technology gets better.
Which one?
Because just any type of
GT?
or just
Project Cars?
like a like some type of a simulation,
It's fun.
because at least then you're stationary in the whatever vehicle you're in, so you can simulate what's going around you.
Dude, I think that anything you're in a cockpit feels right in VR right now. That X-wing experience when you like turn around and there's an R2 right behind you, like it feels right in a way that like motion does not. So
Yeah.
I'm super with you. Like flying a ship or in a car, totally.
Yeah, that's something I'd actually spend money
Real
on.
good.
I was still really interested in Moss, which was one of the surprise games to come out of, one of the only PSVR games to happen at the E3 conference, where you play Quill, a young mouse who awakens in ancient magic and sets off on an epic journey to save her uncle. It's cute, it's adorable, it's a mouse with a little grass sword, it's cute. I want to play it. Now, is that a VR seller for me? Not necessarily, but if I get one, I'm going to get there.
Are any of these?
Doom.
Okay.
This next one, Elder Scrolls V Skyrim VR.
Don't know.
Wow, is that new?
Well, it comes with all of the updates. So
Right.
that's Dawnguard, Hearthfire, and Dragonborn, and you get multiple controller options. So it's not necessarily just move controllers, but you
Thank
can just
God.
have a controller.
Yeah.
Does it
Which I
support
know about.
mods?
It doesn't say it.
I'm sure the Creators Club. It does on consoles. So I don't know, but actually, no fucking way it does. There's no, you imagine the mod that would break it. You get so sick in VR. Like, I take that right back. I'm like, oh yeah, console. No.
it's a
like,
terrible idea.
Yeah, guarantee it does not.
Terrible.
You know someone's. You know
I didn't
someone's
realize
working on
though
it.
that it was support like general controller support. I actually thought it was just move, and I was like, "Yeah, I will
no.
see you there, never."
Yeah.
But no.
No,
But
you'll
I
get so tired.
I totally. But like,
Exhausting.
I'm actually that's one that I would like to fuck around with a little bit. I'm into it.
One of the ones that made headlines was The Inpatient, where you're a patient at in a sanitarium and suffering from amnesia. So your goal is to unearth your memories to discover who and why you're there.
Who hasn't?
However, you'll also reveal a conspiracy at the facility that complicates your efforts to get your life back.
I just want to know who I am.
Multiple endings up the impatient's replayability too, according to the article.
Which is great because most of these things you burn through once and you're like, all right. I think Arkham Asylum is one of the dopest things I did in VR. It's 90 minutes and there's zero reason to pick that back up. So I've had a lot of dust on my unit.
And then a couple.
Yeah, I know.
Coming
Pause.
in
I
2018.
know. Just, I'm
Pause for-
sorry. Look,
Pause for effect.
Tinder.
So a couple of ones coming in 2018. We've got Golem, which is a PSVR exclusive that plays you in a storybook world where you see through the eyes of and take control over stone creatures in order to discover the connection between your family and the mysterious endless city you're in.
I just want to say this about that game. That is Marty O'Donnell, the composer of the Halo score.
Oh, that's what he's working on?
Bungie fame, and left just recently. That's his new company, and that is they've figured out a
Highwire Games.
really cool control scheme for that. Very interested in what they're doing.
Along the way, you'll find hidden treasures and valuable artifacts while honing your melee skills to battle the Silent Watch, a band of hostile golems.
So you lean with your head. So as you walk, you lean like this, and it'll move, and it's apparently really subtle. It's a whole unique control scheme. Very excited.
The American Dream. It's a satirical VR trip through 1950s World Fair where guns are a part of the daily routine. Including flipping burgers on the grill and assembling them for customers at your job, opening a can for a drink, even watering plants, weeding and landscaping around your beautiful home, and other activities. That sounds like fun.
Jeez, no.
Nope.
Why?
Job Simulator
why?
is pretty great.
And then, exactly, it's
It's Job Simulator.
and you can probably have more fun in Job Simulator.
Way more.
And then the last one we're going to talk about, Torn, a mystery inspired by such classics as The Twilight Zone, is set in the Vermont forest where you discover a house full of secrets. What you find in there are numerous experiments, inventions, gear, and documentation that reveal a lot about the doctor who lived there. However, there are also remnants of a man who's been missing for 64 years.
Years,
not really
years,
missing one,
years,
is he?
years.
If there are remnants, he's
I just beat the game.
Oh,
Oh,
snap!
just got torn.
I don't know, man. I'm still not sold on this VR stuff. I've still been waiting.
60 games!
This is such good news for those of us who bought a unit day one
Seriously.
and have had nothing.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I was relieved that they're supporting it. I felt this was going to go the way of the Vita. I mean, I know they released a new SKU recently, but like, thank God there's going to be more to play.
Yeah, it's only 300 now? Or 350? No, I don't know.
Did they change the price point? I don't know.
I think it's 300 now, or maybe
And it does the HDR pass through now,
Yeah.
which sucks.
I'm waiting for the breakthrough game that really
Mm-hmm.
shows like how to integrate the VR properly with like gameplay in mind.
Dream.
That's
Has to
not-
be.
Oh, God.
Hey, let me ask you this: can you flip burgers?
In my life?
No, in American Dream. Sign
There it
sign
is.
me up. Okay.
I want to do weeding in a virtual world.
I do.
That sounds amazing.
Ditto.
You could do that in their everyday life. Come on.
I mean, we don't have enough time, but I've got one more video that I'd like to show.
We can get around
If you
that.
could. So this is weird. There is an online art, or there's a mobile RPG called Angry Birds Evolution, and they're doing in time for Halloween. You'd think, oh, let's do something spooky.
Sure.
Let's do something crazy.
Yep.
So this go ahead and play it from there. That's fine, wherever. So in this video, we get a little revelation of one of the piggies finding an ancient tome, an ancient book, which for fans of the metal band Iron Maiden will recognize as the Book of Souls. So if you go to Angry Birds Evolution, you can unlock 4 versions of the band's mascot, Eddie, from 4 of their various albums, including Killers, where he made his debut, Power Slave, Somewhere in Time, and, as we're seeing here, The Book of Souls. Angry Birds and Iron Maiden coming together,
At
dogs
last.
and cats,
At last.
living together,
At last.
mass
Patrick's been
hysteria.
asking for
Who
this for
hasn't
years.
been asking for this? Yes.
Now-
Every day. That campaign, hashtag.
Now, as an Iron Maiden fan, I still don't want this.
No, who does? Who asked for this?
At all!
Like, I feel like once a week we have a story that's who asked for this. All the time.
Yep.
What's up with that? Like, who's in your flock? Wouldn't
I don't have anything
That's,
to say
I think
about
that's the
this.
ad campaign for the thing.
Right,
Because
but
you can
like-
get different bird characters.
I didn't see that coming. You
like
literally
flock of
were
seagulls,
like,
maybe if you've got to reach out for.
oh, there you go.
I don't
Look
know.
at this.
like-
Hire
Go
Stacey.
go for
Flock
bird-based
of
bands,
seagulls,
not
all
Iron
right.
Maiden, where you're an undead god. Anyway,
Iron
I don't know,
Maiden is a
man.
very relevant rock group to the
It's weird.
to the Iron Maiden,
to
to
the-
the
Even-
family.
Are
to
you gonna
the
finish that?
family mobile gaming
Yeah,
community.
There's no way
You made
there's
it through
some
with
they
a
go
straight face.
they go hand in hand.
See, this was a
proud of
deal
you.
done over some beers, like where
Well,
some like
apparently a lot of the
over
people
some
at-
executives.
Well, apparently a lot of the people at Rovio are Iron Maiden fans.
Right.
And Iron Maiden went, we like money.
Sure. Right.
Because if they came to us and were like, we want to make inventory full birds, we'd be like, whatever.
Uh-huh.
What do you want?
Yeah, sure.
Likeness, sure. Millions! All right. Before we go, let's talk
shooting a
about the
mark
couple of
into a
games that are
building.
coming out this week. On October 17th, we have 4 big releases. That's Gran Turismo Sport,
Yeah.
Rogue Trooper Redux, what up, South Park, The Fractured Butthole, and WWE 2K18. Looking forward to that one. And then on the 19th, we've got Age of Empires Definitive Edition, and coming to the Switch, October 20th, Fire Emblem Warriors, which is the Koei Tecmo Musou sort of Dynasty Warriors version with
Oh, yeah.
with Fire Emblem characters.
Okay.
Good for the Switch. Oh boy! So what's everybody? Let's give some outros and let us know what you're going to be playing over the week. Patrick, some more Shadow of Mordor.
P to the D's on Twitter and truly slide on all the consoles. Yeah, Mordor, I'm just biding my time for that Wolfenstein, ladies and gentlemen. Their marketing campaign has been unbelievable. I'm pretty excited about Wolfenstein 2, so that's coming out in 2 weeks. Stacey?
Well, I'm in the final throes of Wolfenstein New Order. So
Oh, nice.
I'm
Good.
getting there. I'm
Oh,
in the final
we need to
chapters.
talk, we need to talk.
So
Okay.
I'm picking up Steam. I am ready for Wolfenstein 2.
Nice.
I'm there.
And are you going to stream any at all this week?
Wolfenstein maybe not because I'm playing that on PS4.
Okay.
But I will be probably streaming some more Overwatch Halloween and maybe some more Bastion if I get back to that.
I'd watch you
about it?
play it. That game goes some places at the end, so if you decide to, let me know.
And you can
Pretty
watch
ready.
those streams here at Overwatch. What?
At
Inventory. You can watch those Overwatch streams at Inventory Full PT on Twitch. Hi, Nate.
Yes,
Hi, dear.
I'm Nate. You can find me at DogLikeNate, and I'm gonna play games this week.
Oh, wow. Great.
Comprehensive.
Yeah,
That's unbelievable.
I'm waiting for Destiny. I'm saving myself.
Saving myself for Destiny.
Got it.
Dude,
Perfect.
yeah. I
Fair.
can just stream everything.
I know. I want to
Just turn it
just
on,
to
flick
11.
it on. I'm excited. I'm so excited you can play Destiny this next week.
What are you? You playing more Destiny? What are you doing?
I'm gonna play more Overwatch Halloween, and I'm gonna be picking up my copy of WWE 2K18.
Play as
and-
Colonel
and
Sanders?
It's maybe.
Yes.
I might
Yes.
create
What?
the evil. Yeah.
Yes.
You can.
I feel like this isn't.
No, this
No,
is
no,
real.
it's real. I'll tell you after
Yeah,
the show. But yeah, we're gonna be streaming from Inventory Full's Twitch channel, which you can watch this show on every week. It's Inventory Full PT, twitch.tv/InventoryFullPT. Give us a follow. Follow us on Twitter. Leave us a review on iTunes and comment, subscribe, love us, and follow us on
yeah.
Twitter. Find me on Twitter at Mark Donica. Thank you so much for watching this week. See you next time.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.